critic, Gerber Kawasaki CEO Ross Gerber, but you've invested in Tesla as well. Let's just start with sort of the overall umbrella picture here of the reports we've gotten so far in big tech and the ones that are coming up after the bell, including Apple and Intel. How do you feel about the tech sector, which did so well last year and might be just faltering a tiny bit here, Ross?
Well, I think that's mostly a valuation issue more than an actual performance issue. Tesla aside, because their earnings are going down, not up, but the rest of the Mag 7 have reported really good numbers. Like you have an opportunity with Microsoft today, pulling back pretty hard on what I thought were pretty strong numbers. And so, across the board, Big Blue all-time highs. I mean, it's hard to believe the success that companies are having with AI, and of course IBM, it makes a lot of sense. It's kind of one of their things. So this is a great time for technology companies, but of course the valuations already, sort of take that into account, and that's why we'll see pullbacks after earnings like we've seen today.
So you're a buyer of Microsoft. It's down 6%, so arguably on discount, a PE of 33, which is actually kind of calm and sweet compared to some of the other high-flying names.
Exactly. You see this with Nvidia. You see it with Microsoft now, with valuations coming down into a much more reasonable range.
Sure.
Nvidia trading at less than 30 times forward earnings. And so, this is a normal part of a bull market. It's what I was telling our team this morning. You can't have a bull market that only goes straight up. The volatility is part of high valuations, but the fundamentals behind the market are strong. And even with the Fed pausing, that actually gives them lots of ammunition they can use in the future if the economy gets weaker. So, with a pro-business environment of the government, where it's hard not to be bullish.
Yeah, and especially considering when you hear what Meta has done and you hear what CEO Mark Zuckerberg said last night. I mean, Meta has just gone nuts. They did incredibly well. They topped $700 earlier today. That never done that before per share. So, as you look at the crucial components of building out AI, they're using Broadcom chips. Broadcom's going crazy because Meta has used hundreds and hundreds of these Broadcom chips to build out their AI training and infrastructure. So there are many sort of extended plays here, aren't there?
Yeah, and we own Broadcom as well in my fund GK. It's a top holding for us as well. And they make much more specialized chips based off what these companies want. Tesla was one of those companies early on with Nvidia, originally using Nvidia chips, but then wanting more specific things out of their chips. And so they developed their own. And that's what we're seeing with Broadcom and some of the other players. But once again, we're replacing the entire ecosystem of data centers over the next decade. So, these chip companies will benefit greatly over the long term, and that's in the valuations. And so investors just have to be patient, but the numbers are backing up, the investments. And I think over time, AI is going to be a much better experience for people as time goes on.
I've got to ask you about Nvidia because week to date, it is down 14%. Somebody in the elevator, as I was coming down to the set, said to me, "Time to sell, Liz?" And of course, we don't give that kind of advice. Really quick, Tesla and Apple. Tesla came out with numbers yesterday. They were a little noisy here, but Elon Musk said on the conference call yesterday he's going full self-driving. He's been flogging that for a long time, but now it really appears like it's coming to fruition. How do you view this company now?
Well, I view this company as I tried using full self-driving the other night to get me home, and it couldn't do it safely. So he's been saying this for so long, I can't even remember when he didn't say this. So I don't actually believe it until I see it. I use full self-driving every day. It is not a unique. It's a driver assist system. It is not a level 5 autonomous system. And Waymos are zooming by me left and right with no drivers on it, no problem.
Yeah, they're ahead
and so
there,
I think Tesla has a hardware problem. They need to upgrade their hardware if they want to compete.
Okay. All right. It's great to see you. And really, are you a buyer of Apple? Yes or no? And then we got to run.
No, I'm a holder of Apple for the long term, but I'm not a buyer here.
Okay. Ross, good to see you. Thank you so much.